Some of you guys were wanting like the true lore of my OC, and I've gone and I've found what I originally made and how I made it. Full transparency, I was a big fan of Greek and Roman mythology at the time. I became a fan of Bleach while I was making Soan. So there's some anime incorporated into my character. Now, I have gone ahead and I've titled this, I've cleaned it up a bit so it's not as random. And it's something I've been working on for most of today. I wanted to surprise you guys with this since I won't be able to live stream today. So, moving here. There are many warriors in the history of the Soul Society. Heroes who defended it, villains who threatened it. But there is one name that even the captains only speak in whispers. That name is Soan. A warrior powerful enough to defeat the Captain General. A man hunted by the Soul Society. A legend who vanished before the world could decide if he was a hero or a monster. But long before Soan ever became a Shinigami, he was something else entirely. He was a god. Soan was born on Mount Olympus, the son of Zeus and Hera. Power flowed through him from the moment he was born. Storms answered his anger, lightning followed his command. But power without wisdom becomes cruelty. To Soan, humans were nothing more than fragile toys. Their lives were short and insignificant compared to the immortality of the gods. Villages burned because he grew bored. Storms crushed armies simply because he wished to see them fall. Eventually, the gods had enough. Zeus passed judgment upon his son. Soan had forgotten the value of life, so he would be forced to learn it. A bolt of divine lightning struck him, stripping away his godhood. In a single moment, Soan lost everything: his immortality, his power, his place among the gods. Cast from Olympus, he fell to the mortal world, and when he landed, he was a human. For the first time, he felt hunger, cold, exhaustion, and pain. Slowly over the years, he began to understand the humans he once mocked. During those years, Soan met the person who would change his life forever, his best friend, someone who never cared that he had once been a god. They laughed together, fought together, and survived the harshness of the world side by side. For the first time in his life, Soan felt something truly close to happiness. But fate had one final lesson for him. One night, bandits attacked the village. Soan stood between them and the people he cared about, gripping a blade in hands that once commanded storms. He fought like a demon, but mortal bodies break. When the final sword pierced his chest, Soan collapsed to his knees. Yet he died with a smile on his face, because behind him, his best friend was still alive. For the first time in his existence, Soan sacrificed something for someone else. Death, however, was not the end. When Soan opened his eyes again, he stood within the Soul Society. There he became a Shinigami within the ranks of the Gotai 13. And even among Soul Reapers, Soan stood out. He was 6 foot tall and weighed roughly 270 pounds. His long silver hair flowed down his back like moonlight, and his eyes changed with his emotions. Blue when calm, gold when focused, red when furious. He fought with two blades, a katana and a simple short sword, and his swordsmanship quickly became legendary. He could control fire and water as if they were living extensions of his will. Even stranger still, Soan could shapeshift. He could appear as different beings whenever he desired, though every form carried the mark of long silver hair or fur. His true form, rarely seen by anyone, was covered in scars from the countless battles he had had. Within the Soul Society, he rose through the ranks quickly. Eventually, he became a captain. But despite his reputation, there was a side of Soan very few people ever saw. He once fell in love. She was another Shinigami, strong, brilliant, and fearless. She challenged him. For the first time since his fall from Olympus, Soan found true peace. But peace does not last for warriors. During a mission meant for him, she died. The grief shattered something inside of him. Soon after her death, a massacre occurred in the Soul Society. Entire squads of Shinigami were slaughtered. Witnesses reported seeing a silver hair and glowing eyes filled with rage. The evidence pointed to one person, Soan. But Soan knew the truth. He had been framed. The captains gathered, and judgment was swift. Soan was declared a criminal, his execution ordered swiftly. When they came for him, they didn't send soldiers. They sent the captains. And at the center of them stood Captain General Yamamoto, the strongest Shinigami alive. The battle that followed shook the Soul Society itself. Flames clashed with tidal waves. Steel rang across the skies. Soan moved like a living storm. And then something impossible happened. Soan defeated the Captain General, but victory came at a terrible cost. His own squad stood behind him as the other captains closed in. They knew he could never escape alone. They chose to hold the line to help him. One by one, they died to buy their captain time. The grief broke something else inside of Soan. His eyes turned crimson with rage, and flames erupted across the battlefield. For a moment, it seemed like Soul Society itself might fall, but then he heard a voice. His assistant captain lay dying at his feet. She grabbed his sleeve with trembling hands. Captain, please, don't become what they say you are. Her final word was simple. Live. The flames died. The storm faded. Instead of destroying everything, Soan turned his back on the battlefield. Using a technique he had once learned in battle, Soan vanished. And just like that, the most dangerous captain in the history of the Soul Society vanished and disappeared. Some say he wanders the worlds, protecting the innocent from the shadows. Others believe he waits, growing stronger every year. But if the truth about that crime destroyed his life is ever revealed, the Soul Society may face something far more dangerous than the villain. Because the most dangerous force in existence is a good man who was betrayed, and Soan was once a god.